They're making themselves at home, and now they're making babies. But hold on. Do these extraterrestrials need extra help in the baby department? How do they do what they do when they do it?
Are you ready?
Hello, everyone. I'm R.A. Povich, and welcome to A Current Affair. And A Current Affair is out west all this week. And our Cindy Adams is out in the heart of Hollywood, where she's surrounded by some visitors. Some out-of-towners, it looks like, Cindy.
Here I am, an alien in an alien place like California, speaking to a whole lot of aliens like sexy Eric the Alien. Today we're going to answer the burning question, how do aliens make love? If they're anything like my household, the answer is very slowly. Back to you, Maury.
All right. Thank you very much, Cindy. I like the fact that you got your chair all the way from New York to Hollywood this week. Anyhow, for years, the FBI kept an eye on Hollywood. Some of the biggest stars of celebrity land landed in secret files kept by J. Edgar Hoover and his G-men. According to our Raphael Abramovitz, some high-level famous folks got some low-level treatment by the Washington Bunch.
There was a time when things were black and white, when J. Edgar Hoover was the director of the FBI, the supreme keeper of the secret files, a man so powerful that he was feared by presidents. The files were kept at FBI headquarters in Washington, confidential files on the rich and famous, on enemies of the state and friends of the nation, on mobsters and movie stars, on anyone and everyone perceived as un-American, as a threat to national security, to conventional morality, to acceptable values.
You know I can be found.
These files were often stuffed with juicy gossip about celebrities, often supplied by their trusted friends and neighbors, by concerned patriots who did it for the loftiest of reasons, and by the weak and vulnerable who would say anything true or false to escape suspicion themselves. Even super patriots like John Wayne, the Duke himself, had FBI files of their own, although he was about as anti-communist as they come, and took time out of this cowboy picture to make the following anti-communist announcement.
This nation of ours is in a fight for freedom with the communist countries now and for years to come. Unless our children understand the values and responsibilities of that freedom and are willing to live responsibly and work honestly for it, our way of life may disappear.
One entry on the Duke deals with his alleged support of a political coup to bring down the government of Panama. But the Duke vehemently denied any involvement in politics or plots.
They came over here and learned our methods because we have the greatest know-how in the world.
One of those who had a close relationship with FBI Director Hoover was Hedda Hopper, a Hollywood columnist who could make or break anyone in the movie industry. They wrote letters to one another, and there was nothing that Hedda Hopper wouldn't do for J. Edgar Hoover in his battle against Hollywood subversives. In one letter, she offers her services to the FBI, saying, quote, "I'd like to run every one of those rats out of the country, starting with Charlie Chaplin." She even impugns the patriotism of Mary Pickford, America's silent screen sweetheart. There are at least 135 FBI files now available for examination. Aristotle Onassis' file includes at least 806 pages. There are files on Errol Flynn, Clark Gable, Senator Ted Kennedy, and Chappaquiddick. There's even a one-page file on Janis Joplin. And are you ready for this one? There's a 1,694-page file on UFOs, unidentified flying objects. And just to show you how inclusive the FBI secret file system is, there's even a file on, and I know you've guessed it, J. Edgar Hoover himself.
Lately, I've gone into collecting unusual automobiles, and they tell me this is the only Phantom 5 Rolls-Royce limousine in the world with a left-hand drive. So after I got it over here, I had to find me a left-handed chauffeur, right?
Liberace has at least 382 pages devoted to his flamboyant career and sexual preference. Many of the entries about Liberace are under the heading Compromise and Extortion of Homosexuals. There are also memos that refer to Liberace's interstate gambling and bookies.
A symbol of all the girls back home, Marilyn's talent did not go unrecognized.
Now, it is with great pleasure that I present this photoplay plaque to you, Miss Marilyn Monroe.
Thank you, Mr. Sims. It's a great thrill.
But for me, the juiciest bits of the files deal with Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley.
I'll be so lonely I could die.
If the documents are to be trusted, Elvis Presley obviously wanted more out of life than the superstardom he achieved. He wanted to be a G-man, a government agent like his hero, J. Edgar Hoover. Elvis Presley told an FBI agent that he was offended by the Beatles and held the Beatles responsible for the problems with young people in America. He also told the FBI that Jane Fonda would have a lot to answer for in the hereafter for the way she poisoned young minds by speaking out against the United States in the Vietnam War.
Happy birthday, Mr. President. Happy birthday to you.
There's a great deal about Marilyn Monroe and her contacts with President John F. Kennedy and his Attorney General brother Bobby.
I can now retire from politics after having had Happy Birthday sung to me in such a sweet, wholesome way.
Norman Mailer, who wrote a strange book about Marilyn Monroe, hinting that the FBI was somehow implicated in her death, is part of Marilyn Monroe's FBI file. So are President John F. Kennedy and his brother Bobby Kennedy.
We now know for the first time that Marilyn Monroe and her contacts with the Kennedy brothers were perceived as a real security risk.
Anthony Summers, the author of Goddess, the best-selling biography about Marilyn Monroe, has devoted years to researching her FBI and other security files.
There was a calculated attempt by criminals not only to set up Robert Kennedy to compromise him in terms of his affair with Marilyn Monroe, which would spell his professional and personal ruin, but even perhaps to try to set him up with murdering her.
I have examined the FBI files on Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley, and both of them include startling revelations. I'll be back with detailed reports later this week, including the shocking story of Marilyn Monroe's fatal attraction with Bobby Kennedy, a love affair that ended in her mystifying death.
Unleashing Raphael on that case. Now, birds do it, bees do it. But how do the aliens do it? It's a confusing answer that baffles anyone but an alien. We'll have that answer next. And a little later, the best of the beauties, the top playmates of the past year bear all when they talk about life at the Hefner house.
We like best, heading for the 90s, living in the wild, wild west.
Take a close look at your phone and give it this elementary IQ test. Can it let you talk to two people at one time? Or forward your phone calls to the next place you will be? Well, with one simple call to Bella, Pennsylvania, it can. Call this toll-free number and we'll sign you up right over the phone, so you don't have to wait around the house. Call now for your free IQ Services connection from the intelligent network of Bell Atlantic.
Finally, the radio station you've been waiting to hear. The new Gold 96 FM. Playing the classic hits of the 60s, 70s, and today. On the new Gold 96 FM, you'll hear only the best oldies. Along with your favorites from today. Try us now and hear classic hits of the 60s, 70s, and today on the new Gold 96 FM.
If you haven't been to Farmore's grand opening, you ain't seen the half of it. You see, Farmore only buys when they get a terrific deal. And then they power buy a huge supply and pass the savings on to you. Up to 50% on thousands of name brands every day. And that ain't half bad. So get it together and go to Farmore's grand opening. Is she coming back?
Sometimes mornings can be pretty hard to face. So to help you get going, now there's WTAE for News This Morning. Get a head start on the day's news, the latest weather, and up-to-the-minute traffic reports. Don't face mornings alone. Wake up to WTAE for News This Morning, weekdays at 6 and 6:30 a.m.
do you think of Maury Povich, our host?
I actually think he's terrific, to be honest with you. Yeah, I love him. I love that he looks so serious and he slings such hash, you know what I mean?
Well, we all know where Earthling babies come from, but until just recently, nobody knew how alien kids were conceived. No one except the aliens themselves. But now, because of the TV series Alien Nation, we all know the real secrets of the outer space visitors.
A kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh.
Say what? After the latest screen innovation, sex may never be the same.
Where you're touching me on my back, that's an erogenous zone.
Now this is right out of this world. New love techniques courtesy of the TV show Alien Nation.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Is television ready for this? It may not be as raunchy as the afternoon soaps, but boy, is it kinky.
The fundamental things apply as time goes by.
On your back? Well, our Cindy Adams has more with the aliens out on the set of their series in Hollywood. Cindy?
Well, no Earthlings can tell me how aliens do it, so we decided to ask an alien straight out. Eric the alien, tell me, my friend, how do you do it?
So you haven't had any experience with aliens before?
No, I haven't had too many with Earthlings either, you know, so go ahead. How do you guys do it?
A very lonely woman, aren't you? Your Saturday nights are clear. Well, we have different erogenous zones. For example, the bridge of the nose is one of them.
Could I see how it feels? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, it's wonderful.
Isn't it nice?
Oh, my God. Oh, boy. Oh, lovely. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yes, also the backs of the knees are good, too.
Yeah,
so if you run the backs of the knees, between the shoulder blades.
Yeah, and what happens
and then well, it sort of prepares you for the inevitable, which is then we move up the spots on the back. In the female, there are spots that go along the spine. And we hum the spots.
Well, do you have, like Dr. Ruth would put it, the foreplay?
You do that very well.
Do you have that?
I see. Maybe you have had some experience with it.
Yeah, a little, very small. Yeah.
We do. We have the humming as the foreplay, and it leads up to the inevitable, which is almost the same as humans. See, all the parts fit. So humans and aliens could actually have sex. They might not make a baby because it takes 2 males to make a baby with a female.
2 males to make.
Yes,
what is
and
one
you know
of
that one of the producers, the writers, is a female, and she's had this fantasy that she's been working on.
Right, I understand.
And she's making us go through it, so.
Can you tell me how long does it take to make the baby?
Well, we have a short gestation period. It's only 4 months to make a baby. But are you talking about the actual ceremony involved or the gestation period?
No, just the gestation, and I think it's as quick as this whole Thank you, my friend, and we're back from sex to the dry Never Land, Maury.
Oh, Maury.
Thank you all. The reason it takes 4 months, of course, to have the baby is because they got to wait to find out whether the series is going to be renewed or not, right? Coming up, inside the famous Playboy Mansion with the 4 finalists for Playmate of the Year, talking about those parties that only Hef could have.
When Clark Gable showed his chest to the cameras, he shocked both fans and critics. But today's hot hunks have found showing off their manly pecs is something Hollywood takes for granted. Now, Entertainment Tonight discovers how having a sexy chest can make or break a star's career. See why more and more guys are pumping up, stripping down, and showing you what they've got. It's your chance to get a topless look at some of Hollywood's hottest chests, only on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Tonight at 7:30 on WTAE TV.
Treat yourself to a special gift for the holidays. A beautiful new waterbed from Dream. Enjoy festive savings on our most popular models and styles, like the Capri for only $179 and the Sunset pre-holiday sale priced at just $139. Warm those frosty winter nights in a practical soft side waterbed starting at just $299. Or unwrap a lovely new daybed affordably priced from $159. Celebrate similar savings on many other waterbeds and furniture suites at all 15 locations. Treat yourself or someone you love to a special pre-holiday gift from Dream.
The Volvo 240 has a reputation for surviving accidents, and we at Subaru have always been impressed by that. So we gave the Subaru Legacy wagon unibody construction, like the Volvo 240. But we also gave it full-time four-wheel drive and anti-lock brakes, because the best way to survive an accident is not to get into one.
Drive a 1990 Subaru Legacy for as little as $195.36 a month.
Hey, you know that original Taco Bell taco for just 49 cents? Oh, yeah! Well, that ain't all. Now they got those starters for 59 cents. Bringing you burritos for 59 cents. Pintos and cheese for 59 cents. And soft shell tacos, too. How much? 59 cents. Taco Bell, make a run for the border.
Ooh, forgot to add the softener sheets.
Now you can forget about adding fabric softener forever. Introducing the new liquid detergent and fabric softener in one. Solo. New Solo gives you a clean so soft, it's actually fluffed up higher with softness. So forget adding fabric softener.
I missed it.
New Solo cleans with a softness you can't forget.
What do you think of a current affair?
A current affair? Your program, a current affair? Your box, a current affair? I know, it's like Australian journalism, isn't it? Yes, it's very good. I love it when you rip the royal family apart. It's brilliant. Rip them apart.
Well, kiddies, I did man's work this week. I visited Hugh Hefner's Playboy Mansion and spoke with some of the Playmates vying for Playmate of the Year. Maury, sweetie, I know you should have done this particular interview, but I did it out of love for you. Interviewing these girls could have been injurious to your health. Frankly, I was afraid you would have flunked the physical. A rock? I'm supposed to talk to a rock? Hello, rock?
Hello, can I help you?
Yeah, this is Madam Adams from A Current Affair, pardon the expression.
Thank you, Miss Adams. Come on up.
Thank you, Rock.
The Wild Wild West.
Welcome to the wild and very voluptuous West. That is Playboy's Mansion West. Inside this home on the range, the animals are supposedly tame. For sure, housebroken. I dropped by this week to meet 4 of this year's Playmates. They're in the roundup for the title Playmate of the Year.
Hi.
Oh,
Welcome to the
oh my God, you're so gorgeous and so young and so it's so depressing. Oh, how are you? I can't wait till you get fat. If you win the Playmate of the Year award, what do you get? How much do you earn?
The Playmate of the Year will win $100,000 and have a big party. And it's a really exciting event.
That's Fauna McLaren, Playmate's 35th anniversary Playmate. Not that she's 35 anywhere. The magazine is. Fauna's a model. I mean, you can tell she ain't a nuclear physicist, right? I know Hugh Hefner had a pajama party in August. Were you here?
Yes, I was. It was incredible. It's so beautiful. There's all the beautiful Playmates wearing lingerie, and it's kind of funny driving here, though, and you always think, am I going to get pulled over wearing my underwear?
It's not that I'm bitter or anything. I mean, God knows, but what are your measurements?
Let's see, last time I measured them, they were about 36, 24, 36, I think.
That's 36. All of that up there is only 36?
Yes.
Each or together?
Together.
With Fauna, my bosom buddy by now, it was clear the deck was stacked against me, so I pressed on for my second close encounter. Idaho's Renee Tennyson, probably the best thing to come out of Idaho since the Spud. All of her, barefoot clear up to the eyeballs, is in this month's issue.
She's so mean, but I don't care. I love her eyes and her wild, wild hair. Dance to the beat that we like best. Heading for the 90s, living in the wild, wild west.
How did you get into this contest to become Playmate of the Year?
My boyfriend, he always wanted me to be in Playboy, and he suggested I send my pictures in.
You mean your boyfriend didn't mind? He actually encouraged you to pose naked?
Oh, he thinks that's like the greatest honor to have his girlfriend be in Playboy. And he's like showed my centerfold to practically everyone in Idaho. They've seen me because he's really happy with it, and he thinks it's great.
And lest anyone think that Idaho's homegrown varieties are half-baked, little joke I made, listen to what this 21-year-old from Boise does back home.
I manufacture computer parts that go inside the computers.
You mean you're a brain?
Well, not exactly a brain, but I just work on the parts that go inside the computer.
Yeah, whatever you say, hun. In any case, she has some of the right parts on the outside, too. What can I tell you? In this menagerie, I feel like a candidate for Medicare. Next up, another pip, Monique Noel, who has a very, very month of December name, but was Playmate for the merry, merry month of May. What are you going to be later, someday?
Well, I've been writing a book, and that should be coming out pretty soon. It's a recipe book, and it's called Aphrodisiacs and Love Bites.
Come again? I mean, what? Go ahead.
It's a recipe book of recipes that I've collected from my mom and my grandma and friends over the time. They're all goodies, and they all are great at inducing a little bit of love in life.
Like, for instance, give me a quick one, because my husband's home. I'd like to give him a snack.
Oh.
Tell me, what are you talking about?
Well, you could wake him up one morning with a batch of French kiss toast.
How do you make it?
I'm not going to tell you now. You're going to have to buy the book.
Right, and a sexy Eggs Benedict to you, too. Finally, I discovered sweet Petra Vercake, who's in the frigid December issue. Tell me about the parties. You've been to some of the parties here?
Oh, yeah. Actually, they're right here. They get a big tent. It's huge, and chandeliers hanging from the top. It must be 2 stories high.
What do you wear? What's the dress code at the parties?
Well, during the summer, and I think on New Year's Eve, I haven't been to that one yet, but yeah. I heard that it's all night clothes, sleepwear. So people wear teddies or gowns or pajamas, boxers, whatever you sleep in.
Boxers, you mean shorts?
Yeah. I used to hear that they were pretty wild, and girls were running around topless and stuff. But the one I went to was really nice. They're a lot of fun. You'll have to come. You really should.
So I guess I should never give up. There's hope for me, too. All I have to do is find out the right chest exercises. Right, Maury?
Oh, gosh, Cindy. Yeah, and you can tell that it's November here on A Current Affair, right? All right, sweeps month, right, everyone? We'll be back with a look at the Prince of Rock and Roll and the beautiful Bassinger, his Hollywood heartthrob. That's next.
Okay.
It hurts. Sinus pressure and headache. It really, really hurts. A painkiller alone can't stop it. A nasal decongestant alone can't stop it. Sinutab can stop it. Sinutab combines the painkiller in Tylenol with the decongestant in Sudafed to give you more than either one alone. Sinutab is the #1 sinus medicine for a good reason. It stops the pain. It stops the pain. Sinutab stops the pain.
Jersey's jogging wear. Full cut, shrink safe, double stitched, and color fast. Jersey's active wear. Built to last. Jersey's rowing wear. Full cut, shrink safe, double stitched, and color fast. Jersey's active wear. Built to last. Jersey's anywhere. Full cut, shrink safe, double stitched, and color fast. Jersey's active wear. Built to last.
This Through the Years message is brought to you by Hills Department Stores.
Well, I've been mall walking for the last 8 years.
What it does is it allows people to exercise in a climate-controlled environment with a lot of people around them.
We're doing it for our 2 youngsters. Hopefully we'll be around for a long time this way.
Oh, I think it's kept me alive. Honest, I do. It makes your day.
Partners through the years. Hills Department Stores and WTAE TV.
Hills is now accepting MasterCard and Visa. You, our customers, asked for it. Our credit testing got such phenomenal results, it was clear that Hills shoppers wanted the convenience of credit. So now you can shop with cash, check, layaway, or credit. The choice is yours. Technology has reduced the costs of credit, so Hill's everyday low prices will stay low. We were the first, and we're still the best everyday low price discount store.
So, Cindy, what else do we have from Hollywood this week?
Oh, we've got an awful lot of stuff. We're going to the set of Universal Studios, and we're going to the set of Desilu, and we're going to show you all of the difficult things that we do out here in the hot, gorgeous, beautiful, sunny California, which I'm working hard to show you is difficult for me to do.
Right. Rough duty, kid. Yeah. Anyhow, we grew up with this person's mom. We all love Lucy, and now meet the real little Ricky, the real Desi Jr. He was Desi and Lucy's little boy, the most famous baby in Hollywood, and he became the ultimate Hollywood child. Wild parties and booze and women and drugs, and he paused on the edge of a personal abyss. But Desi Jr. came back. He's cleaned up his life, beaten drugs, and found happiness with a whole new family. Lucy would have been proud. That's on our next edition of A Current Affair. That wraps up this edition, and as we leave you, the shocking new song by Prince and Hollywood heartthrob Kim Basinger. It's out this week. It's called Scandalous Sex Suite. Here's a sample of what it sounds like and a glimpse of a video that might have been. Thanks for joining us, everyone. Until next time, America.
I can see you. What do I look like? Overdressed. Okay. How about now? Now what do I look like? You're blushing. Are you afraid?
Some people call us guerrilla television, gonzo television, tabloid television. Our stories are real. A current affair.
The future of time is global. With computerized IQ, intelligent quartz, only from Seiko. At a touch, separate subdials wake you and give you precise quartz time in 21 cities worldwide. Automatically, it's global. The future of time is in our hands. Seiko.